What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Listen. If you can see me and hear me, then you know what today is. It is Tuesday. And it is time for the Minding My Business Mic Drop podcast. And for those of you who don't know, if this is your first time, welcome. Let me let you know who I am. I am Nishika Melton. And as someone who thought they were living by being overwhelmed and overworked and stressed out, because I thought that's what success looked like. And I thought that's what you had to be successful. As a simplified productivity coach, I have learned and I help others learn that that is not the formula for success. So what I do is I help you create the vision, the strategy, and then implement that so that you have the success that you deserve without the burnout, without the overwhelm, without feeling overworked. You can actually enjoy what you are building. And that's one of the reasons that I created this podcast, was so I could bring on powerhouse people that are going to impart information that you need, skills, tools, all of the things, whether you are a business owner or not, because you don't have to be a business owner to be successful. We all deserve success. So if you are an OG, you already know what you should be doing right about now. If you are new to the podcast, I want you to go ahead and type in your city and state. And if you are joining us from outside the country, because that does happen on this podcast, let me know where you're chiming in from. And listen, our podcast chat is always lit. Always. So I want y'all to ask your questions, put in your comments, because the questions that you present, I'm also going to present to our guest. And you might just see your question on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to say, what's up to Greensboro? And what's up to Angel? Blessings to you, Angel. Thank you. And we've got some more Greensboro in the building. Yeah. Hello, Miss Karen, Wanda, Elmira, Journey. Listen, if you have not already told your people to get on this podcast, go on and send them a message. Just tell them y'all got to get on. Get on right now. And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button right now, because yes, we are here. We are here every Tuesday. The people that I have on this podcast, they are not ordinary. Baby, they are extraordinary individuals doing big things, okay, in their lane of expertise. That's why they're on this podcast, because we don't do basic here. Hello, we don't do basic. What's going on, High Point? What's going on, High Point? So the guest that I have today is the perfect way to end this year. I mean, God's timing is absolutely impeccable. I have Miss Inga Nykole. Now, Nykole ain't her last name. It is not her last name, but that's how she rolls. And so that's how I'm rolling with her, because Inga is going to show us and give us insight on where the money resides. I wish I had that clip of the guy singing, where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides, Listen, Inga is going to bring that for us tonight. And why is it so important? Because there's a lot of people that talk about grants. Yup. There's not a lot of people who talk about grants who also know about taxes. So she's going to show you where to find the money, get the money, and keep the money. Okay, then. It's the trifecta. We are doing it all. And obviously, we're not going to cover all the ground tonight. But Inga is going to tell you at the end of this podcast how to connect with her. And whether you are a for-profit or a nonprofit, if you are a ministry, you need to be talking with Inga because she knows her stuff. So I'm about, and we've got Greenville, North Carolina. Okay. Yeah, let me put this on the screen. We don't do basic up in here. Okay, we don't. That's not our lane. I don't even know what that is. We don't do basic. So let me bring Miss Inga Nykole
Whoa,
to
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa. I got
stage.
horns, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. Down a sec, down a sec. She got the horns. Hi, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, OMG, I just subscribed. So first of all, if you're watching, make sure you tap that subscribe button. And I'm watching, I subscribe myself. I see y'all. Hey, hey, hey. You guys got me so excited. She said we don't do ordinary around here. We do extraordinary. This is the last podcast of the new year, right?
Yes.
So the last podcast of the new year. Everybody turn up. I want everybody to put money bags. I want you to put fire, money bags, whatever you can find. Just start throwing stuff in the chat and make sure that we're together. This is a celebration of party. Like where the money resides. Where'd she say where the money resides? Where the money resides. I was trying to do that dance. And then there's other dance. Take me through there. Take me through there. You know about that one, right? And so I'm excited to be here. Y'all already know. If you know me, I just have a good time just sharing. I'm so grateful to my sister Nishika, who has invited me to share with you guys. My name is Inga Nykole. I'm from Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania. If my friends are watching, that's called 25. They already know. But I'm just the girl that's here to help you find money for your business, for your nonprofit, for your dream. If you ever needed money, wanted money, have been denied for money, and you know that you are worthy of the money, and you really don't know how, or you haven't had an opportunity, nobody told you it was available, then we're going to have that discussion tonight among some other things I could tell. But I'm just that person that helps you find money for your big dreams, whether it's through grants, money you never have to pay back, business funding, making sure that your credit is in place. I'm the one that connects you to the money for the action for you to do the big thing that you want to do. And so I'm happy to be here with you tonight. And let's jump into this party. It's a New Year's party. Let's do it.
Oh, you said something really key. The money that you deserve. There is I don't know if you want to call it a misconception, but there is a thought that everything that leads to success, the way to get to your resources is that you have to struggle. But you don't. You deserve for the right doors to be open for you. You deserve that. Yes, we deserve, not just y'all. I'm going to include me in that too.
Okay.
We deserve the money. So Inga, first of all, what brought you to this place of wanting to help people find the money and get the money that they deserve?
I'm glad you asked that question. And I used to hate to talk about it, but one of the things I know is that we can't hide from our truth. And the things that we've been through in our life is what makes us into the adults, the people. They say that what you've done in the last 90 days is what your outcome is right now. And so imagine what you've done all your life and the outcome that you're having right now. And we can't deny that. One of the things I heard, and it was one of the hardest truths that I ever heard, was you are who you attract. And we don't want to believe that, right? I don't want to believe that I'm attracting what my outcome is. But I'm a young lady that has survived over 20 years of domestic violence. And I say survived because I really was living in survival mode. Single mom, college athlete, like all the things that were in front of me, a million and one opportunities in front of me, but life just got a hold of me. I'll be honest. And domestic violence was a long struggle for me. And when I had to face the ugly truth, because breaking out of domestic violence, it was facing the ugly truth of knowing that you are who you attract. And I had to look at it that way. Know that I'm not saying it wasn't my fault, but what I was attracting was part of what was on me. I kind of
Mm.
sometimes say that stank was on
Yeah.
me. And so the people that I was attracting into my life. And one of the ugly truths that I had to realize is that part of the reason that I stayed so long, I was lazy. And I was ambitiously lazy. And I say that because I could have gotten myself long ago out of domestic violence. But the people that I dated had money, right? They were ambitious, they were well to do. And I honestly, and I'm being honest, it's the end of the year. I don't know about y'all, but I want to purge this year, right? And so I found that that before we go into 2026, I'm leaving it on the table. But I realized that one of the reasons that I stayed in a bad situation, many bad situations, was because of money. And once I understood that I was sacrificing myself, my children, my talents, my gifts for being lazy, is what I call it, I promised myself that I would never let another woman have money be the reason that she struggled, that she stayed, that she accepted unacceptable behavior in her life. And it really
Wow.
sent me on a mission, struggling through it over the last 20 years of helping entrepreneurs, especially women, find ways to have money to live their dreams. And now you can make conscious decisions because you have the money to do it. And I used to do business financing, believe it or not, Nishka, and I still do. I used to lead with business financing. And business financing, most of the time, because my niche is working with the new entrepreneur that's still kind of making their way, I can get you finance for anything, still can, but can you really pay it back? And so you don't I get you the financing, you don't really have a way to pay it back. And now you are struggling even with the money that you had. And so something clicked in me I want to continue to make these resources for people. But what about if I taught how to do grant money? Grant funding is $180 billion that goes unclaimed every single year. And if I could show you how to take the same strategy of growing your business with grant money, right? And never having to pay it back, like I gave it to you, you don't have to pay it back. Grant money was the way to go. And now I could still help the new entrepreneur less stress, less burden of growing their money and prepare them for the funding when they're ready for it. So honestly, that's exactly how and why I'm in the grant space. Personal story turned into a triumph for other people.
Now you said something. You put two words together that I have never heard put together. You said ambitiously lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
you know you got to talk to the people.
Y'all, y'all,
Never
you got
heard those words be put together before.
mm-hmm.
What does that mean to be ambitiously lazy?
So for me, like I'm a girl, like, and I think a lot of us are like that. Like we're self-starters. I had never met a woman that wasn't. We're self-starters. We darn near could do anything. Like I've never seen a person that couldn't get it done what they intended to get done if they were serious about it. And so I have 100,000 ideas, and all of them are amazing ideas. And I had all the ambition in the world to get it started. And I'm trying to tell you that I'm a magnificent finisher. I'm going to crush it at the finish line. I'm leaning in at the finish line. But that work in the middle, it's something about that work in the middle. If you know what I'm talking about, tell me in the chat it's the middle, right? The work in the middle. I could start and I could run through the finish, but that middle part, for me, it was I took so many unnecessary shortcuts trying to get from the beginning to the end. And I always, before GPS, right? Before AI, everybody know that when you took that shortcut, you never actually found your way. And so for me, that's what ambitiously lazy means. It's starting and skipping the middle and trying to finish. And it just didn't quite work out.
No, that don't work. So y'all that are listening, and if you're watching the replay, I want you to type this in the chat as well and put replay after your comment and just say no more shortcuts. You don't profit like that. You actually work harder trying to find the shortcut instead of just doing the work. No more shortcuts.
No more.
That's what I want you to put into the chat. No more shortcuts. And you're talking to yourself.
Yes.
No more shortcuts. We're not going to do that in 2026.
No more.
Because it doesn't work.
It doesn't. And think about it. If anybody could just really think about all the times where you skipped the middle. I'm talking, and we're we're talking about money, but in relationships, right? In
Yeah.
weight loss, it's the new year. Let's talk about it. It's 2026. Everybody is about to be. We either going to transform our life, give ourselves a resolution, a solution, a half solution. I be making these words up, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, but we got to get it started. Like, listen, in the next day and a half, some incredible things are about to happen in our life. But are we going to see them through? This is, I
Yeah.
promise you, where that ambitiously lazy is going to, by the time when we check back in on 2 podcast shows from now, ask them how they doing with what they got started on. And we're going to see where the ambitiously lazy people are.
Girl, you've got my mind going with that phrase because I've never heard anybody put those two words together. But when you define it like that, you have the great ideas, you come out the gate and you look like you finna do something. But then when it hits that mundane part and that part where you have to show up with the consistency, then it's like, oh.
I'm telling you, right?
Wow. So you also said that the grant industry, it's $180 billion of unclaimed money.
Unclaimed money. And why is that? Most people, you see a grant opportunity, and I if anyone follows me, or if you do, I want you to definitely follow me. But I post grants literally almost every single day. As a matter of fact, we have a school community, brand new. We're excited of what's going on in the community. But I had a 30-day grant challenge, and every day, and I don't know if anybody has ever done a 30-day challenge, but to stick to something every day on time for 30 days is not
Yeah.
easy. And
No.
every day at 9 a.m., I posted a grant for the last 30 days and haven't missed. And the opportunities are there. The link is there. The instructions are there. The answers are there. I even on Saturday go live and do another grant with you. And are those grants really getting done? It's there. People think a few things. The first thing they think is, oh, I'm never going to get a grant. The second thing they think is they don't know how to do the grant, or they get into the application and they really don't know their self. And then the third thing is someone else probably will get it, or everybody else is applying for it. And imagine that every grant that someone gets ready to apply for, they have those ideas. Those grants are not getting applied for because most people have those same ideas. And it takes just a few people to say that they'll do it. And those are the ones that get the grant. Truly.
So I'm going to repeat that number again, y'all, because I want to make sure. I know y'all heard the 180, but
Right.
it's billion with a B.
Billion.
100 and the thing that just flashed in my head was, we drive by the signs that have the lottery, what the amount that's available in the lottery, and we're like, ooh, if I could just get y'all, there's grant money out there that
Free.
you can't. Yeah, you ain't got to. You ain't got to gamble or anything for it. And I ain't knocking nobody that do. If that's what you do, yeah, hey, that's on you, boo. But there's $180 billion that I'm going to get mine too, Karen, because
Yes,
I had no
get
idea it was that much money that goes unclaimed. So that's not even the whole pool of money that
Not
people
yet.
have access to. Y'all, that's the part that nobody gets.
Nobody gets. Nobody gets.
What?
And it's there for you to do great things. For there's I've never seen something that someone wanted to do that we couldn't find a grant for. And working with us, we teach you, even if it's something that you particularly don't do, what you do can be transformed into what they want you to do. And so there's money for every single thing. Are you willing to do the work to get the money, or are you going to work for free?
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in shock because that's not a small number. And that means that there's enough money for everybody. Enough money for everybody. So I put in the marketing that you help those who are nonprofits, those who are for-profit. Can you give us some examples of some of the grants that you have recently helped folks in both of those categories, the nonprofit and the for-profit? What types of grants have you been able to achieve for your clients recently?
Yeah. Oh, I love this question. So I'm going to give you another category too: nonprofit, for-profit, and personal grants, right? One of my favorite.
Hold on, Inga.
Personal. Yeah.
You said personal?
Personal, like for you, personal needs, food necessities, electric, water, mortgage, medical bills, personal grants, personal grants. True story. I have a young lady, Delaware, and she helped me part-time as a grant coordinator. And I taught her how to do grants. She don't know how to do a grant, but she can fill out, name, address. What do you need the money for? And this is my favorite story this year. And within 90 days, Shay is her name. Shay had secured over almost $20,000 in personal grant money. 1 month alone, she got $8,000. She paid every bill that she had in her house. Another grant she got paid for repairs in her home. She got like new drywall and sump pumps and screen doors and front doors and all the things, personal grants. This is December. She probably started applying in July. And by September, she had over almost $20,000 in personal grants, not even a business, and never had applied for a grant before, right? Was she willing to do the work? You want to know what she did? She worked through the middle. Because when that grant application got hard, she had to do the application. She got kind of conditionally approved, and they started asking her for 12 months of bank statements and all this and all this information. And she says, should I send it to him? Well, do you want the money? And she worked that middle, and she literally got I was feeling like, I might need to take her course. Like, you got another one? Another grant. That's one of the favorite stories I have. Another story I have is in Delaware. Young man I worked with out in Delaware, brand new nonprofit last year. And it took us a while because paperwork is not perfect. So if you're a business owner and we do paperwork and you may get declined for something because you made a mistake. True story. We missed a box on the application that took us about a year to fix, only because you got to wait 90 days and go through the middle, right? When it was approved, luckily, and this is a great story about relationships. In his neighborhood, he had great relationships with city council and the mayor and other resources in his neighborhood. Stay connected to the people that can help you. He was able to secure a grant for over $4 million within 30 days of getting approved for his organization after a delay for a year, right? Beautiful story. Never ending story. He could have quit. He could have kicked us to the curb. And I could say that, right? He could have never worked with us again because of an error that we made, but we stuck it through. And with 1 month after he got approved, he did an application and was approved. Relationships, opportunity, all met together, right? He was ready, but he also had expert help, right? And so that would be a nonprofit grant. Nonprofits open the door.
$4 million. So girl, you got me stuttering over here. And I want you to tell your other story, but I when y'all see these replay clips, don't pay attention to my face because I am over here looking confused and befuddled. Don't pay attention to my face. I am trying to fix it the best way I know how, and it's not working. Inga.
Yes.
The amount of personal money. I mean, I know a lot of people who would love to have an additional $20,000 for their year.
I would like it now.
Yeah. And then, even though the mistake was made, y'all fixed it, came back, and $4 million.
Yeah, and with a comma and another comma. Yeah.
I need to turn on the ceiling fan because I feel my blood pressure going up.
I started to bring a fan too.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then what's your other story? Because I
But
know
this
you
is
have
just
another one.
business grants. Honestly, I would just be excited about a lot of business grants. I want to say the last one, maybe about 2 weeks ago, $12,000 in Lithonia, Georgia. I love this grant right here. This grant I love is because there's a gentleman, another organization out in Delaware, who thought he was a nonprofit. Let me tell the truth. This is crazy. Thought he was a nonprofit. He's a business. And he says that he was collecting, he gives away community goods in the neighborhood. I went to go visit his warehouse, and inside of his warehouse, he said he had donations for the nonprofit, but the donations were huge Amazon boxes, and the imagine that the items inside the boxes were free, right?
Okay.
However, the shipping for the boxes, $5,000 per box, right? But it's free. This is education, but it's free. I'm running a business, a nonprofit. I'm giving away to my community. I've been doing it for 15 years. Never had a grant before in my life. I walked through the warehouse. I'm talking Amazon boxes bigger than your living room, stacked from the front to the back. $3 million worth of merchandise that he paid shipping for that was free. You go figure. This is not a nonprofit. This is a business. And just last week, we only been working with him for a short time, $12,000 from his state, just because they didn't even know he was there. And from his pocket, because he wants to help the people, he paid shipping for his nonprofit. That is a business, to give things away that was free that he paid for. $12,000 now that is for free, that he can now buy the things that he needs to buy. And the greatest thing, I just share this, and this, I don't want to go over anybody's head, but in his business, because we're working on his structure now, all of the inside the box, I'm talking Nike techs, for real, isn't that a thing right now? And Nike sneakers and beautiful shirts. And he gave my son, what y'all call it, a quarter zip, gave him a sweater, a shirt. And inside of these boxes, Nike will donate directly to this organization now. Amazon will donate directly to this organization now. Dell, we've written a grant now. He hasn't gotten it yet. We asked for 100 Dell computers to give him now so he can stop paying for donations.
Wow.
And they call it sourcing. So imagine all the other businesses or nonprofits that think they're nonprofits that are running a business by paying shipping for donations.
And that shipping wasn't no chump change. You said $5,000 per box.
I had to keep my face up. You say don't look at me now. Don't y'all look back and see me make a face. I hope you're not watching, sir. I hope you're not. I don't think you got the text for this. Let me see. Is he on here?
Even if you did, sir, I know you're glad you know Inga. Mm-hmm. Because now your stuff is together.
Yes.
And you can get it donated for real.
For real. Donate it for real. Right? And imagine the organizations that do good, but pay for shipping. But I thought I was just doing good. And nobody knows. Nobody knows he's there. Do you know I've seen people get community citations? We just witnessed this. Someone that's new in business that was rewarded from the community. And you've been doing this for 15 years and nobody knows you're there except the people that you serve. They come running to the giveaway truck. But the people that need to know. So imagine if the need to know knew you were there, all that you would get because you're doing the work anyway. And so it's a matter of getting the word out about ourselves and making sure that we're using all the tools, social media and everything we have, so people know that we're there. Even if you're not a nonprofit, even if you're not going for a grant, but you're just trying to sell a t-shirt, just trying to sell a candle, do they even know that you're there?
Man. And the sad part about it is there are many nonprofits and for-profit businesses that do benefit the community and have a heart to serve, but they do wind up having to close down because the people who have the pockets and the signature on the checks don't know that they exist, and they can no longer finance the quote unquote free donations. Wow.
Here's what I want people to know, especially in business. So if you know who you are, you can describe what you do. We call it creating your avatar. That's something new that we started in the last a little while, but it's fun and it makes people realize that everybody has a character. And if you could create your character, and listen, if there's any ladies on the phone, ladies and guys too, think of going on a date, right? And you're trying to impress the person. And they say it takes about 90 days for you to know the person that you dating, right? And so imagine if you decided you think you could hold this 90 days off a little longer, and you create the facade of who you're going to be in the beginning. So if you're going to be demure or whatever all the words are, but you could, you might be a macho kind of tough guy, but you're not really that tough, but you created who you are in the beginning. And that is the presentation that you have. It's really the same thing in business, but really I want you to hold it off. We call it your avatar. If you know who you're serving, right? I know that it might be somebody that, I don't know, it's a teenager. Excuse me. It might be a teenager. It's live podcast, guys. I apologize. But you might be serving teenagers in the community, and you may just be giving them computers, or you may be teaching them a skill. But if you know exactly who your person is, it's so easy to get grant money because the application has to stay the same. And I'm going to do the same thing, repetition, over and over and over and over again, even when I'm sick of it. And if you can decide who you're helping, how you're helping them, right? What are you going to do with the money when you get it? And how is it going to benefit them when you're helping them? What can they expect to learn or receive from you because you help them? And continue to articulate that over and over and over the same exact way on applications. You're going to get so much money. You're going to be like, please stop. Just
Never.
stop giving it.
Keep it coming. Overflow.
Yes.
Overflow, honey.
They need to stop playing with you. Know who are you? I just feel like if I had to pick one of the greatest lessons of 2025, who are you? Who are you? And teaching that to people who you are, the money is just going to come in their way.
So I want y'all to really pay attention that Inga is not just here helping you get money, but she's also making sure that your stuff is in order so that you can get the money.
Right.
Okay, I don't want you to miss that. So if you overflow, come on, y'all, put it in the chat. Overflow, because that's what the Word of God promises us. He promises us that He will open up the windows of heaven and pour us out a blessing that we would not have enough room to receive it. And I got a lot of space in my house, so I'm just saying, God. Whenever you ready, I'm ready too. Okay, then listen. y'all, and this is why I wanted Inga on this podcast, because it's not just about the money. Like, there's so many pieces before you even start applying for the money. And she's somebody who is going to listen and read. And she also said, if you missed it, she went to this man's warehouse. So she came on site to make sure she could properly help this person. So this is the type of service that you want and that you need, and not just somebody that's gonna say, oh, I applied, but not really pay attention to how your business is set up. Do you have the right paperwork? Are you actually a nonprofit? Are you actually a for-profit? Was it actually a donation? And helping you get your name and your word out there. You got to have somebody who is willing to work for you and who wants you to get the money.
That's right. Work with you. I learned something this year. There's a difference between helping you and assisting you. Helping you means that I did the work for you. I did the bulk of the work for you. Assisting you means that I just showed you the way to get it done. Right. And so that makes a big difference. And I love that you said about the paperwork. Excuse me. The paperwork is so important in having your business. Is I talk about my kids. My kids are grown now. And all of us, I'm going to believe that everybody on here, we're going to say you're over 18. And everybody has had to apply for, I don't know, you know where your birth certificate is, right? And you know where your social security card is, right? I hope. And your driver's license and your medical insurance card. And these are things that I know I teach my kids now that they're 30 ish in denial. Y'all don't get me started. But now that they're grown-ups, like, where are your documents in a safe place? It's the same thing for your business. If you're a business owner, where is your documents, your EIN number if you are a business, right? If you're not a business, you're just a sole proprietor using your social security number, you know that. But you got your EIN number, and it's December 30th, you guys. I just put up a post today. Tomorrow, your business license will be expired at midnight. Have you renewed your business license, right? Business licenses run from January to January, even if you got it last month, even if you got it in September or July. It is over at the end of this month. And so, is your business license renewed? Are you a corporation and you have that corporate document with the seal on it? Are you a nonprofit and you got your 501c3 paper with the seal on it? Like, all these documents. Have you been in business over a year? And so now you have to prove that your business is in good standing with your state. These are all the things. And this is what we do when we're creating an avatar. We have something called the grant vault. And inside of the vault, we put it all, a nice little storage place for you to have all your documents and make it so easy. Because see, if you apply for one application for your grant application and you're saying the same thing over and over and you have your documents in place, once you do one application, you're doing nothing but cutting and pasting and uploading. Cut, copy, paste, copy, paste. You can knock these applications out. It makes it so easy. So easy, because everything is in the proper place that needs to be and you are prepared. And they need these things. The other thing I love about grants is that I don't care what your credit score is. I don't care. I don't care. No offense that you live in your car. No, I don't care. I do not care what you're doing. I care that you're going to do what you said you're going to do. Your credit score and your mishaps in your life right now, your current circumstance, that doesn't matter to me. Are you prepared to receive this money and deliver what you said you're going to do? And so some people will say, well, grants are not, it's not free. You still have to do the work, but it's free up front. You got to do what you said you're going to do, but I'm going to give you the money in good faith that you're going to get it done. So if you have your documents together, right, and be prepared with how you're going to deliver it, where, when, and who you're going to deliver it for, you really can get the grant money. And I'm encouraging you to take it seriously, especially for 2026. If you're going to make a resolution, make it a resolution and put a number on it that I'm going to at least try to get this much money for this year for my business.
So we had a question that came in while you were giving the testimonies of the clients that you have helped. Once you get the money, once you get the grant award, do you have to report that as income on your taxes? How do you report that?
So this is good. So if you are a business, then you will report it. You'll report it on your Schedule C as a grant funding, right? But grants offset themselves, if that makes sense. If you are a nonprofit, then there's a tax return that you do, not your personal tax return, but your nonprofit tax return is called the 990, and you report that on there. But remember, I got the grant for a specific reason. I'm going to spend all the money. I don't have no money left. This is not a savings account. This is a spending account. So I'm going to spend all this money so that you're not taxed on your grant money. Now, one of the things about grant money, though, there's no tax, but certain grants, if you don't use it, you have to give it away or send it back. Best example, it's the end of the year. I don't know where y'all live, but everywhere else I've been in this world, there is some highway construction going on. They got the roads blocked off. They fixed that same pothole last year and the year before and the year before. You always know, if you live in a city that continually is fixing the street, I want you to ask that city for money because they have it, especially if you see it at the end of the year. They're trying to get rid of the money, so they're using it on the street. But if you got a great idea and you're a business or a nonprofit, ask them. It's called discretionary funds, money that you could use for anything. Write that down. Call your city and be like, do you have, Inga said, do you have any discretionary funds available, right? If they have money available and you have a good proposal, you can get it. Let me tell you about a young man in Delaware. I work a lot in Delaware, and you'll hear me mention that. You'll hear me mention a lot in Delaware because I built my business there, raised my kids there. I'm in Virginia now, but I travel a lot. But in Delaware, the young man had a store in Wilmington, Delaware. And in front of his store was one of those end of the year, block my street off for fix to get rid of the grant money that we needed to use, highway, whatever it was for. His street was blocked off for some time, but the way that the street was, the customers that would come directly to his store had to go over the river and through the woods in real life. They couldn't come down the street. They had to go back around the corner, over a bridge to come back around the other way. Well, imagine, I don't know about you, but for me, if I go in a store, depending on my mood, if the line's too long, I might start shopping, but then I look at the line, I'll be like, it's okay.
That's right.
Right? And so because, true story, because people were deterred from business. I couldn't get directly there because it's a neighborhood store. I had to go over the bridge and through the city, we'll say. He got a grant for over $100,000 for inconvenience that you blocked my store and deterred from my business. Over, when I say over, I do mean over $100,000 in 2 checks. Because I say that do you gotta go over the bridge? He's like, yeah. He's like, man, in my way, that's the way that the young guys explain. In the way, like people, you know, say, listen, you know what I'm saying? This is what we about to do. This is an inconvenience, and we're gonna write a letter. Y'all ever see the movie White Chicks Say, I'm gonna write a letter? It says, I'm gonna write a letter, and I'm gonna tell them how you inconvenience me, and I'm gonna be compensated for that. And sure enough, the letter worked. Listen, I was looking just like Nishika, like, oh man, it worked. I'm going to tell everybody. He got the money, y'all. Twice. Bet they won't block that street again this year. Grant money, free money.
Mm-hmm. Y'all. Mm-hmm. I am never speechless on this podcast. Okay, just never, not once. But you just said to me that this person, God bless him, got $100,000 over $100,000 for being inconvenienced, for his customers being inconvenienced. I'm about to be like, Wanda, what the Sam Hill?
What in the Sam Hill is right? Look that up, Wanda. Is Sam Hill a grant? We need to find that. That's right, Wanda. Tell us where the money resides.
And see, here's another thing, y'all, and I'm gonna boost Inga up because this is somebody who is thinking outside the box. Who would have thought that I'm gonna write you a letter to try to get you money? Because you were inconvenienced, because your customers were inconvenienced, and then was able to get over $100K because you knew how to word it.
Yes.
That's why you can't be going bootleg. I mean, no harm, no shade, no disrespect against Pookie and them and your cousin Nene. I don't even know, but you cannot go bootleg on this because that Inga. Oh my gosh.
Yes, this is true. Think about it. It's just, again, there's money for every single reason, and being creative. I like to call it creative financing sometimes, but you just have to like look around. And if you even listen, if you play the podcast back about some of the things I said, like, is your street is the neighborhood streets being repaved all the time? Are they blocking it all the time? That's free money. You can look around your city. You can look at things that think of how the city is wasting money on. You think it's a waste anyway. You'll know that they do that over and over. Why do they do that? They have to use the money. I gotta do whatever I have to do with it. There's people, true story. I don't know if anybody watches the news. I don't particularly watch the news, but I was seeing, however I saw it, of the young lady. She's a wealthy woman, the Amazon, I don't know her name, but she gave the HBCUs millions and millions of dollars. Giving it away. True story. I don't know why that's my line tonight, but have you ever seen Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Michael Jackson buy a jet or a boat or a house? And you'd be like, do Oprah need another? Like, she need another mansion for real? Jay-Z you really need a superliner for 20,000 people? Really, sir? That's just frivolous. There's a thing with the IRS about money, and this is not about particular grant money, but about the use of money. When you get to a certain status, and I work with athletes, like my career probably is built on working with athletes, entertainers, stuff like that. I don't talk about it a lot. That's, you sign a lot of NDAs, so you just don't, just work. But when you get to a certain level of income, and this is the government included, this is organizations and businesses included. Every business that you shop at has a grant. You could Google it right now. Amazon, FedEx, American Express, every single business that you, what is it? Ulta, Sephora, Beyonce, there's grants. Everyone gives away money. You get to a certain level of financial status in your life. And if you have to pay taxes like all of us every single year. And we know that the more money you make, they also say the more money, it's not about what you make, but what you can keep. The more money you make, the more tax money you have to pay. And so, yes, Oprah does need another mansion, because if she don't spend that $20 million, the IRS wants it. If Jay-Z don't buy that super charter for no reason, the IRS wants the money. So you better spend it or give it away. And there's people, literally, I'm not telling y'all to flood the internet or nothing like that, but y'all remember, some of you might have heard of Giving Tuesday, one of the biggest giving giving seasons of the year. And nonprofits are able to collect because wealthy people and people that have a certain excess of money, they're trying to give it away. And these are tax deductions as business owners that we can, a write-off means that I subtracted it from my tax. And I'm going to try to say it gently because I don't know exactly who's listening. But when you work in your business and you don't have a W-2 anymore, you do a tax return, and it's called a Schedule C on your regular tax return. And in that Schedule C is where you write off your cell phone and your uniforms. Listen, I'm putting my wigs on there. Don't care what they say. It's a part of the uniform, y'all. What would y'all do if y'all see me without my wig? We not gonna do the minutes today. You be like, Inga, could somebody get Inga?
So we're not gonna play them games.
I'm just saying, but when we're doing these write-offs on our taxes, I need to write that super charter off, because why would I want to give the IRS $20 million when I could have done something with my family or got me another mansion to just carry on at whenever I felt like? And so this is the reason in money that we see all this giveaway and frequent giving and foundations, and someone's grandmother's grandmother left some money for the children's hospital and the dog SPCA for the rest of the generation of dogs, because she needed to do something with the money. And so she could gift it for years to come. And this is the things that we really don't learn when nobody is there to teach us or show us the way that money really operates. And that's really what giving and grants and nonprofits is all about.
And I never thought about it from that perspective, because you do see them buying all of those things and spending outlandish amounts of money. And the first thought is, why are you wasting that money? You could be, which, I mean, this is another way of giving it away, because there's, in all of their cities that they live in, there's people who need to be fed, need to be sheltered, and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, they said they make it, so they decide how they gonna spend it, child. They ain't asked me nothing, so.
I'm trying to get them not to ask me too.
Yes. So, and look, y'all, our hour is almost up. This hour goes by so very fast. So on this podcast, Inga, every person who's on gets asked a question that was left for them by the person who was on right before you.
Oh, wow.
And then you get to leave a question for the next guest. So this question is for you. Okay. In 100 years from now, how do you want to be remembered, and what legacy do you want to leave behind?
Wow, that's my first 100-year question. I'd be capped out at 5. But so I love that question. And so if 100 years from now, I would love, so I have a goal of 2027 to run for state senator in Virginia. And so,
come on, girl. Hold on. Let me give you an applause. Hold on, let me get the sound together.
This is the part where you guys do that. And so I would love to be remembered. I would like for my kids to, for when my great grandkids pass, the wall that my picture is still there. And I would like
Mm,
them to know all of the work. I've been doing this for a long time. And sometimes, probably like a lot of us, you feel like I would like to know personally if we could look back on our life that I appreciated what I did. Because a lot of times
yeah.
we don't feel like we done enough. But I feel like
Yeah.
I pray that I've done so much that entrepreneurs, because that's my mission, that every entrepreneur gets to live their business dream because they have the money to do what they set out to do, what they want to do, and they're doing what's in their heart. And so I would like to know that I made an impression for entrepreneurs around the world. And not because I do work honestly around the world, even from Ghana to Kenya, Nigeria, everywhere. And so I'd like to know that I was a senator, global humanitarian, that I made a difference, and that I was like deeply loved, not just loved, but one of the things that I feel escaped me as through domestic violence was the ability to be loved genuinely. And I
Mm,
would like to know that I felt that and that my family knows that I have that for them and that all of my work shows the love that maybe I didn't have, but that I give out excessively. And that
yeah.
businesses that I didn't even know about are still being touched because of the grant principles and funding principles that I gave them. And I'm really glad that I answered that question. And I cannot wait. Nobody knows what the end of time look like, but if God let me look back, I promise you I'll be looking like what y'all better be. On the ball, like, get it, grandma. Go, grandma. And
Go,
so I do
grandma.
pray that.
Go, grandma. That's what they're gonna be saying.
Yes, I want them to be like, doing a dance for grandma. And so Auntie Nana. And so this where I gotta ask my question now?
Now, what would you
Okay.
want your question to be? And then there's another question in the chat that I missed. So I want to throw that out to you as well. So, what question do you want to leave for the next guest?
I want the next guest to tell me that if my favorite scripture is eyes have not seen, nor have ears heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of man what God will do for those who love him. And I would like for the next guest to tell me in their most incredible, wildest dream, what do they see? And in knowing that God said greater, what more do they see if there was no limit to what they could get done?
Oh, girl. Okay, hold on. I'm writing this down.
So, what do they see? If God said greater, right? If you knew that there's no limit to what you can do and God said greater, what do you really see for yourself? If money was no object, maybe add that. That probably will help answer the question.
Okay. Let me flip a page over.
They're gonna be like, that's a loaded question.
Okay. Now, there was a question in the chat. And the question was, are there grants to start your business? And I know that could be to say start your business, that could be many different things. So if a person comes to you and they say, Inga, I've got a business doing ABCD, but I don't have money for staff. I don't have money for equipment. I don't have money for space or materials. Are there grants that could be written so that they can actually get their business off the ground and it becomes more than just an idea?
Yeah, I love that question, and it was in my mind twice. And so first, I'm gonna give you a website. I want you to go to getgrantsdaily.com, and I'll type it in the chat too.
Yes, that in the chat.
Getgrantsdaily.com, right? And so the grant that you're talking about is called a seed grant, like a seed, like a mustard seed. And this is a grant. This is a grant if you just thinking about being in business, there's a grant for you. You just got a bright idea, there's a grant for you. It's called a seed grant. There's money from 500, 100, 5,000, 25,000. There's money for research that you could get for grants just because you're trying to figure it out that you want to do. You don't have to be a doctor, medical doctor research, but just because you're researching a possible something that's going to make the community better. Products make community better. Services make community better. Doing good makes the community better. And so seed grants, research grants are the kind of grants that you're looking for. Quick grant for you. Google the Awesome Foundation. Awesome, like you're awesome. Foundation, $1,000 just because you're awesome. You got an awesome idea, tell them your idea, they give out $1,000 every single month. So awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in the chat as well. Awesome foundation. And getgrantsdaily.com.
And I put it in the chat.
Getgrantsdaily.com.
Mm-hmm.
So how can, because I know everybody on this podcast and those who are going to be watching the replay, they are going to want to connect with you because the information that you have given with not hypothetical situations, but these are your clients and people that you have helped. These folks watching this podcast are going to want to know, how can I connect with Inga so she can show me where the money resides?
Yes.
So how can they connect with you, Inga?
Yep, that same website. So getgrantsdaily.com. And I'll put my Instagram on. I try Instagram, y'all. I'm getting better at it. But I'll put that in the chat too. But getgrantsdaily.com. Go there. Over the next 5 days, you're going to get a grant to apply for every single day. Very easy, simple, help you understand how to tell your story. And then I'll also invite you to my school community where we do share grants every day. Our January challenge inside of our school community is business and personal credit. So we're going to be setting up our business credit and telling the truth about our personal credit. And so that's the challenge. We have a challenge every single month. But if you go on getgrantsdaily.com, like we put in the chat, then that's how you stay in touch with me. All my information I'll be sending to you and hanging out with you for the new year.
And so is that also how they can, because you mentioned your school community earlier, is that also how they can get access to that?
Yes, once you do the Get Grants Daily, first thing I'm going to give you is a grant. And then in the next day or so, I'll invite you to the school community and you'll be hanging out with me over there too.
Y'all. I told y'all we be bringing it on this podcast. And if this is your first time watching it, you've got to go back and watch the other episodes because all of the guests have been bringing the fire. And y'all understand now why I said this was the perfect interview to end the year. Because if you were feeling just like hopeless or helpless or scrambling or trying to figure out, or even praying and asking God, how am I going to finance this? How am I going to fund this? Heller, you're welcome. Amen. Your answer. Okay. Your answer. You need to connect with Inga. Getgrantsdaily.com. Connect with this woman because she is going to help you no matter where you are. She's already told you that she's global. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Okay. And I know we got a couple of more minutes because I have seen some of Inga's posts where you've said, Inga, you found grants for people in the town or the, specifically for where they live at.
Yes. That's some of the best money to get. You're right there and you can prove your work there. And just like I said, when you see those roadblocks, but just Google grants in your area, put your city, your state, your county, call your mayor's office, call your economic development office. Even if I take you, and I don't want to take you too far because we got to go, but even if you provide a service, talk to your city about how you can provide your service to your city. They need your help. One of the craziest ways to get money is some of the local nonprofits like your HUD and the city development agencies, they have money and they don't know what to do with it because they don't have anyone to facilitate the program. So imagine if you can just work with them to do your program. You're a coach or a leader or communicator. Talk to them about your amazing program. Let them pay you with their grant money, keeps them from having to hire staff, and you help them. Come on, y'all. Yes.
Y'all get on that line item. Get on that line item in their budget and get them coins. Get them coins. So y'all, before we get ready to wrap it up, AJ, what's up, AJ? He said, who do I speak to in the city? So is there a I know you said the mayor's office. Who else?
Your city council, mayor's office, economic development. Every city has economic development office. Just simply ask, hi, I'm AJ, I'm a business owner, and I'm looking to see what grants are available to me. Most city council, every city council member, because everyone has one, has about $2,000 $10,000 or so to give away. They could give like 2,000 per citizen, something like that. Not all the citizens, but first come, first served. But they have money. Ask.
Now that was something that I did not know, that the city council has the ability to give away money. And that's why it's also important, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure you vote the right people in to office. Okay. So good question, AJ. Thank you for that. Inga, is there anything that you want to leave the people with before we get ready to wrap it up?
Honestly, first of all, thank you for spending we're going to just call this New Year's Eve. And so thank y'all for being with us, right? This was good. I love a good opportunity. Nishika, thank you. I love you for having me. And for everybody that's here, because she said we had to turn up on a podcast, and I feel like y'all nailed it today. And so thank you for that. But go after your dreams, man. Like, I'm big. Like I told you, I help entrepreneurs start, fund, and grow their business. And I've never, ever, ever seen a person, no matter where you are in your life right now, no matter what you're looking for, no matter what has tasked you, challenged you, overwhelmed you, if you want to do it, it's going to get done. If you think about the things that you have done in your life and that you were successful at doing, or that you had to do, like nothing going to stop you, you had to do it. If you put that energy on the things that you really want for yourself, you have never missed. And you have to be honest with yourself. When you said it was going to get done, let me tell you, let me show you better than I can tell you. Oh, hell, you know what I'm saying? Whatever words you use to make it happen. But when you locked into that, it happens every time. You had never missed. And so I challenge you right now, at the end of the year, instead of making a resolution, make it so you will not miss. Lock in on one idea, not all of them, because I know you got them all. Pick one. No matter how tired, boring, or crazy it gets, pick one and lock in on it. And I promise you, nothing can stop you, and you're going to get this money.
So let me just show you how great this partnership is and what it can be between myself and Inga. Because if you are that person, you've got your idea or ideas, but you don't really have the vision in place, you don't really have the strategy, and you don't know how to implement it, then I'm the coach that you need to talk to. And then once we get that ironed out, then I refer you to Inga to help you get the coins. Okay. And whether it's $500, $5,000, $5 million, we know that there's 180 billion that doesn't go claimed. Nobody's receiving it. It's just sitting there bored. Okay. The money is sitting there bored. All right. So don't spend and don't go into 2026 confused. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting here with me. You've got access to me. You've got access to Inga. There is absolutely no reason for you to spend any more time confused, broke, busted, or disgusted. Hello? Okay. Can we please, ma'am, and please, sir, act like you got resources? That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to leave it alone. All right, y'all. So Inga, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for the information that you brought, because it opened my eyes. I know I've got some homework that I need to do, because I didn't know that city council person, and we had elections last month in this area. So I got to pick up some phone.
Yes.
Honey, pressure. There's going to be pressure coming from me. Y'all, I want y'all to have a blessed and safe new year. And after the next couple of podcasts, I'm going to check in with y'all and see, where are you with your goals? Are you being ambitiously lazy? I'm going to use that again. Are you being ambitiously lazy? She done armed me with something she don't even know. Ambitiously lazy. We're going to kill that. Okay. Yes. Absolutely. So y'all have a fantabulous rest of the year. It is going to be over in just tomorrow's the last day of the year.
This is our last Friday, our last Tuesday of the year.
Yeah. Oh, AJ, Red Lady Twins. I didn't even realize we were both wearing red shirts. You know what, AJ? That's the hospitality guru right there. AJ is the dude. He pays attention to the details. So y'all have a fantabulous rest of your year. And Inga, we will be in touch.
Listen, I'm ready. Let's get this money.
Get this money. We got it. 29 hours to go. AJ is counting. All right, y'all. Take care. See y'all next time.